for the first time in 25 years.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Yogs, and in today's video, we are going to do our official 2025-2026 season award predictions. So yeah, today we're gonna cover Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, you know, all that Rookie of the Year, all that good stuff, MVP, and we got a couple of honorable mentions on the list as well. So yeah, as always, if you guys enjoyed the content, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit those 1,000 subscribers. It really helps me out, so I appreciate it. And without further ado, well, let's get started. We're gonna start with Defensive Player of the Year, and I think this is a pretty obvious pick, right? I've got Victor Wembanyama. Last year, he was basically guaranteed to win it before, you know, missing most of the games with that deep vein thrombosis. And as a rookie, he finished second to Rudy Gobert, and I already thought as a rookie, he should have won it. I think he kind of got robbed from Rudy, so he should be going for his three-peat, but unfortunately, he's only going for his first D-port. And I mean, he's super due one, right? Honestly, he might end up with a record of, you know, most Defensive Player of the Year awards in the history of the league. And the case is pretty simple. He's an elite rim protector, he has a lot of block volume, improved perimeter mobility, and he's added strength. So he's gonna bang around, you know, with some bigger guys, and he always gets like a bunch of rebounds as well. And I think the team context matters as well, right? So the Spurs with Wemby on the court, last year they were around like all fringe top 10 team. They were a little bit outside, like around 12 defensive rating. And with him off the court, they were basically the worst team defensively in the NBA. So I mean, like that tells you everything you have to know about Victor Wembanyama's impact on defense, right? And then for honorable mentions, I think I got some other guys. I think Chet Holmgren is a big name for this year if he can stay healthy. He played really well last year, and that Thunder defense in general is really good. I think Amen Thompson's a really big name as well. He should be first team all defense. He's a really good candidate. And you know, you got your usual names like Evan Mobley, who won it last year, Jaren Jackson Jr. But I think if Victor Wembanyama stays healthy, there's nobody taking this award away from him. For Sixth Man of the Year, I got DeAndre Hunter. So he finished 4th last season, and he had 14 points per game, around 4 rebounds per game, while shooting 42.5% from 3 on 5 attempts a game, right? And that's all in just 25 minutes a game, which is crazy. And I think, you know, his swing factor is availability. He rarely hits 65 games during his NBA career, but if he does, the efficiency, the size, and the two-way value, I mean, it's all there for him. And why I like his role this year, you have a complete year in the Kenny Atkinson system. I think he's a really good coach, right? You have Ty Jerome, he's not on the team anymore. I think he was a big part of that second unit, you know, putting up a lot of points. He was in the mix for Sixth Man last year. And I think Alonzo Ball, well, he's just a pass-first type of point guard. So I think he's going to feed DeAndre Hunter a lot. For our honorable mentions, I got Naz Reid, right? I think Naz Reid is always there. I'm curious to see if they're going to start Naz Reid whatsoever. Peyton Pritchard's always a big name, but I think, you know, with the Celtics the way that they are right now, I think Peyton Pritchard will start most of the year for the Boston Celtics. And I have Caris LeVert, right? I think Caris LeVert is a fun little wild card over there in Detroit. I think he could put up some numbers with that second unit. So yeah, DeAndre Hunter, I have him winning Sixth Man of the Year. Well, for Rookie of the Year, I originally had a different guy, but you know, after seeing preseason, I mean, I have to go with Cooper Flagg, right? He's just too good. I think the defense is just, it's gonna be there from day one, and Dallas is just gonna need him to be a playmaker without Kyrie Irving. You know, when he comes back, we've seen it in preseason, what he can do. I think, you know, it's just gonna get better from the start of the season. So I have Coop actually honoring, you know, his #1 pick status and being that top guy in this class. But, you know, for honorable mentions, we have Dylan Harper, who's super talented. I think he's really good. I'm curious to see with the Spurs if he's gonna start out being the primary ball handler or if it's gonna be De'Aaron Fox. But I think Harper is gonna be, you know, he's one of the better scorers in this class. I think his scoring is up to par with NBA level already. So I think, you know, depending on what happens, he could give Coop a run for his money. But VJ Edgecomb's looked really good in preseason. He had a really big game to end preseason, you know, with 25 points. So I think VJ Edgecomb's really good. My original pick was actually gonna be Ace Bailey. I know the Jazz are really bad, they're a really bad team, but I think Ace seems like he's going to put up buckets, right? I think he's just gonna be that true scorer. You know, if he could get up, you know, that 20 point per game, I think he would also give Coop a run for his money. But I don't know, I think, you know, from what I've seen from Cooper Flagg, it's not really gonna be a competition for anyone else. For most improved player, I kind of went back and forth on two guys here, but I ended up settling with Amin Thompson. I just think, with the Fred VanVleet injury, I think Amin Thompson, he's just going to step up his game. The Rockets need him to step up his game, especially offensively. We know that he is a freak of nature on the defensive side of the ball, especially at the point of attack. But I think offensively, he will make strides this year to be a better offensive player, shoot more, not be just a one-dimensional get to the rim kind of guy. And if he can do that, I think he will for sure win this award. But I also have Andrew Nembhard. I think Andrew Nembhard, he's projected to be Indiana's lead playmaker. So I think the assists will go up, right? If the Pacers are competitive and he lands around 17 to 18 points per game with around 7 to 8 assists plus his defense, I think he's gonna be a really big name as well. I also have Azar Thompson and Jaden Ivey on this list as an honorable mention. I think that I really like the Detroit team. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. And I also have Shaedon Sharpe. I think Shaedon Sharpe is gonna make a big leap this year. I think he's one of the key guys for the Portland Trailblazers. And I think he will most likely be in the mix as well at the end of the year. But the man is gonna be Amin Thompson. For Coach of the Year, I got Jamal Mosley. All right, so the Magic went 41-41 last year, despite Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner missing most of the year, and Jalen Suggs, right? He missed a lot of the year as well. And they still finished, at 500. They added Desmond Bane, plus you have the growth of your young players overall. You've got the Eastern Conference, which they should make a big leap. I am projecting that they go from around the 7th seed where they finished last year to most likely top 3. And they have elite defense. So I really like Jamal Mosley. He was in the mix a couple of years ago, but I have him this year. You also have Ime Udoka. I think he's always a big name. I have Tyronn Lue, depending on how the Clippers play. If they're all healthy and they possibly land inside the top 4, I think he's also a big name. But I just think the Magic are really well in position to have Jamal Mosley in this one. For Clutch Player of the Year, I highly doubt. Last year, Jalen Brunson won it. I know Jokic was in the mix as well. But I highly doubt Jalen Brunson goes back-to-back on this award. So I have Stephen Curry winning this, right? So Steph, the Warriors, they played 35 clutch games last year, and Curry had the 6th most clutch points. He shot 37% from 3 in clutch time. And more importantly, his clutch moments, they're big. Those signature shots, they kind of sway the voting. You have the night, you have all of that. But I got other names, right? I think Brunson's always in the mix. I think Jokic's in the mix. I have Kevin Durant, depending, how things go. I just feel like the Rockets defense is just too good. I think they're gonna lock people down, so I don't know how many close games they'll be into for Durant to be in the mix. And you always have Anthony Edwards, right? Like Ant-Man is always in the mix as well. He's done really well, but I have Steph definitely gonna win this award this year. For MVP, all right, so the Big Boy Award. So the Big Boy Award, I had to think on this. So I think it's gonna be a 2-man race again. I just feel like Shea and Jokic are just too good, right? It's like the last couple of years. And this year I have Jokic winning it. I know a lot of people thought he should have won it last year and not Shea, yada, yada, yada. I'm not gonna get into that. But, the Nuggets are jumping from 50-32 to most likely 60 wins this year, right? So you have box score dominance. And that one, right, I think that matches with Shea winning it from 2025. And I think you always have voter fatigue could be an issue, with giving it to Jokic once again. But I have Nikola Jokic winning it this year, Shea coming in second. I have Giannis. I think Giannis is gonna play out of his mind this year. But I just don't think that Bucks team is good enough to compete. I think Luka, I have Luka, having a 30-point triple-double this year. That Lakers team is his team. But I just think that also, much like Giannis, I don't think the Lakers are gonna do well enough. Maybe if they surprise everybody and get around, finish the top 3 seed again, like they did last year. But unless they do that, I don't think Luka is gonna match Jokic and Shea. And you have possibly Kevin Durant winning in this as well, depending on how things go. If the Rockets finish in first in the West, maybe the voters will give it to KD. But I have the Joker winning it for this year. For Executive of the Year, I have Rafael Stone from the Rockets. Right, so he added Kevin Durant, which was a big, biggest add of the offseason. You got Dorian Finney-Smith as well. He's a big 3-and-D player. You got Clint Capella. He handled all of the contract extensions, I think, flawlessly. And like I said, I expect Houston to be near the top 3, if not first in the West. But this time they look a lot more scary because they have Kevin Durant, right? They have that half-court weapon, and they keep basically all of their elite defense that they had from last year. I think Jeff Weddleman from the Orlando Magic, he's also good. The Desmond Bane trade was really, really good for the Orlando Magic, but I don't know. I think the Rockets just made better moves this year, so I think they're gonna go with it. For our finals pick, I have the Denver Nuggets facing the New York Knicks. Yes, I have Denver coming out of the West. I think they got a lot better. I really like Cam Johnson. And I think giving David Adelman a whole year to be with this team and to have them coached well, and this new team, I think they made moves early in the offseason to give them ample time, practice together, get some chemistry under them. And you have the best player in the world, right? You have Nikola Jokic. He's still the best player in the world. And I think he's gonna take that Denver team and come out of the West. And I have the Knicks coming out of the East, right? I don't trust the Cavs team. I really like Donovan Mitchell. I like the Cavs team. I don't know. I feel like the Knicks are due to get to the finals. I just feel like the Cavs, they never show up in the playoffs for some reason, right? Even with all that talent, I have the Denver Nuggets winning the NBA championship for the 2025-2026 season, with Nikola Jokic being the finals MVP once again. But yeah, guys, those are our predictions for the award winners of the 2025-2026 season. Let me know what you guys think. Am I going crazy? Comment down below who you guys think are going to win MVP. You know, drop your picks down below. And if I said anything that you guys think that I'm just totally whack, let me know as well. As always, if you enjoyed the content, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit those 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.